Okay, one of us should say something, right?
All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Two Psychic Moms. I'm Tammy Langowski, and we have Julie Hawkins with us, the Biz Psychic. So, as you know, those of you that have been tuning in, we are two psychic moms who got together and started doing some channeled messages for all of you. And we so appreciate when you do send us your questions, because this really is all about for you. Any questions that you have that are general, for everybody, we'd love to have them and see what kind of messages we might bring to you. So for myself, you can reach me for private sessions as well. tammysintuitive.com is my website, and Tammy's Intuitive Services for my social media, for Instagram and Facebook for some channel messages. I now just started the world of TikTok. Woo! And so I'm doing clairaudient convos on TikTok. Just have one so far, but if you're interested, I think I'm at Tammy's Intuitive Services for that. So anyway, Julie, anything you want to say for yourself there?
I say how brave you are. I don't think I've even logged on to see what TikTok is about. So
I know.
there's a little bit of resistance in me. Well, welcome. I will say today is Tuesday, February 8th. And so in celebration of that, Tammy, I was just saying before we went on that I always look forward to Tammy's backgrounds.
Thank you.
For whatever reason, I look funny when I put them up, and I can't get, it's a whole long story that nobody needs to hear or care about. So Tammy does it for all of us, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Julie Hawkins, the Biz Psychic. Can be reached at juliehawkins.com or bizpsychic.com, and that's whatever's left of my social media, because I'm resistant to doing that now too. That's my commentary on that. Maybe they'll come around and I'll go back to it, but anyway, blah blah blah. Yeah, I think that's all I was going to say about that. Oh, and personal readings, of course. I'm always open for personal readings, and you just go to my website and book there. All right. Yeah. Okay, here we are.
Yeah.
We're off and running, Tammy.
Yeah, we have a question. This is from Daphne. Thank you so much, Daphne, for this question. And I'm going to refer a lot of this. I'll see what pops in for me as well to Julie. Julie's pretty good on these questions, I think. She's got several questions kind of within. I will read them all off, and then we can, you have that also, did you say to refer to, Julie?
I do. And
okay,
so
good.
I'll probably break them down, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the first question is, may I know if there will be countries that change their borders this year? So we can start with that if you just want to start there before we read the others.
So as I was looking at it before we actually came on, I read that first one and I heard my guides. So I'll just go into what they said. Well, we cannot possibly tell you of the hundreds of countries that are in the world who might change borders. That is ever shifting, even if it's slightly. However, we think you're more concerned about maybe the Russia, Ukraine, and maybe we're mind reading for you. I don't know. And I can't remember, or China, Taiwan. So those are big questions on everybody's minds. Well, not everybody's, but on many people's minds. And we're going to say that it is in flux, a lot in flux. I mean, when I tune in, I've got, my stomach is churning because there's so much energy and movement around what is happening with those countries, and those two big powers, China and Russia, wanting to. I see Pac-Man. Remember Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Gobbling up, and that's what it feels like. Both of them really have the intention of doing. And I did hear a friend of mine. I really try limiting my news, but a friend of mine said that. What did he say? That China and Russia had come out and really, and condemned the West. They're now partners. They're having a bromance or whatever, and and condemn the West. Well, oh, that's a sneaky ploy to get the people in your country, in the US, to come together on the conservative end and say, we're not doing that, and we're on your side. Well, we're a democracy, they're saying. Your country is a democracy still, and if you're wanting to keep it that way, voice to your people in government, because it teeters. It teeters daily, hourly, as to which way it might go. And we cannot really tell you at this time. Well, we'll come back to that. So Russia and China, for instance, changing their borders. There's a lot of speculation about, let's say, Russia for the moment. And we feel like Russia is going to continue to move in Pac-Man and do it, rather than a big giant incursion, just kind of try and go in and grab bits and bytes to see how far they can push Ukraine and push the NATO nations, for those of you who want to hear about it. So we think they're going to continue with that. They might, in the 11th hour, say, okay, if you give us what we want, we'll back down. But I think what they're saying to me is, we think that they're going to really push that and push in and really see what they can do. China and Taiwan. China, they're like, China's on the down low with this. They really like to fly kind of under the radar and do their own thing, whereas Russia is very much on the big, flamboyant, flashy end. And so China's on the under the radar end. And I'm sorry, let me close my email so you don't hear that. I always forget to do that. Okay, so China, we're not sure that China is going to move in and take ownership of Taiwan at this moment in time. It is, we feel like it is something that they want to do. And when the time comes, they'll see how emboldened they can be about it. Maybe they're thinking maybe the West will be busy with Russia and Ukraine and Eastern Europe. So while that's happening, China will go and take over Taiwan. We're not 100% sure on that. That's just what we're hearing as a possibility at this moment in time. Okay. I think, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, just what I will say, because I'll just tune into the actual question, because that's how the best I can do. I don't really follow world stuff. I really am kind of clueless to things in that regard. So I'm just going to open to the actual question here. It will help me this way. So may I know if there will be countries that change their, if there will be countries that change their borders this year? I'm getting yes, there it seems there will be some. Maybe some. That's what I'm hearing.
Watch.
For that.
Watch.
Huh? What do you say, Julie?
Watch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then and Ken, I'm totally out of this, so I'm just like, because I'm just going with what my guys say. And then yeah, and then will China become the world's largest superpower, taking the place of the US? That's really a good question. Will China become, guys, as we know, we're talking to you, will China become the world's largest superpower, taking place of the US? Not for some time to come, although it seems to be going in that direction, although we don't think it will be for some time to come. Now, that is a phrase they will use with me often when they can't read it, but they know it's way out there, most likely. So if it does happen, it won't be something you will see for many, many years, although there seems to be energy going in that direction right now. Okay, I know I asked this last time. Okay, I know I asked this last time, but sometimes things change with time. Will China take over Taiwan? Does it feel, guys, like China will take over Taiwan? Okay, so again, I have to interpret that a bit, but they say not yet, not yet. Another one of their phrases they'll use, which means it's in the works, almost like, and not yet means usually for me, what I find is it usually means kind of a yes, but it's just not yet. It hasn't happened yet. But again, energy is going in that direction. Is it likely that it could happen? Again, I'm getting yes, it's likely, but not for a long time. There's time involved here with both of these that I'm receiving. So the next question then, Julie, too, was will the US be involved in those
Okay.
countries?
Let me go back
Yeah,
to
sure.
will China take over? Wait, where are we? Will
Yeah.
China become the world's largest superpower,
Right.
taking the place of the US? And it's funny, while you were talking, I read that as, will Russia become the superpower taking over the US? And I went, no, China. So we see the possibility of that, and we will agree with Tammy's guides, not for a long time. China likes to, as we said earlier, fly under the radar.
Mhm.
And they will do it. Putin is aggressive, whereas China is, we know what we want, but we're going to take our time to do that. And we have you on, how are they saying it to me? It's almost like China has the US on the hooks. And so there is a possibility of that, and we're going to agree with Tammy, it wouldn't happen for some time. However, there's a lot of moving parts that really comprise that. It really depends on, it depends on what happens with your country, the US, as do they determine, I heard a phrase, this is me now, I heard a phrase a couple of weeks ago, it is an anocracy. US is now an anocracy, which means it is no longer a democracy and is moving toward an what's the other one? Authoritarian.
Okay.
So they're saying if US moves more towards authoritarian, it is unlikely that China would move to become a superpower and take over the US. They like to condemn the US as democracy. And if it became a full-on autocracy, what are they going to argue with? So, so a lot of that is still in flux. It really depends on where, and we'll come back to the question, really, where does your country stand? Where does the US stand as an anocracy? Does it really fully move away from democracy into authoritarian? We say be careful, be very careful. It is teetering, and people who think that, we were getting this earlier as I was out doing blood draw today, and for some reason I guess I was listening to the news or whatever, and I heard this drop-in come in, right? And the drop-in was this: the people in your country who are very far right, very, not even conservative, just almost fringe and very far right, believe in no we don't want to say no rule, but less intrusive government and regulation. And so they think by having somebody in power like your former President Trump, they will achieve that. And it is truly the opposite of that. If you think that having an authoritarian in power is going to eliminate that, it is the reverse. They will take full power and make all the rules as they see fit, and you will have no say in it. So we know that most of you who listen to us know that. We just want to state that for maybe those who are tuning in, who know people who lean very much to the right and say, oh yes, let's go with Russia, and let's go with somebody like Trump in power. So it will have the reverse effect as to what those people are really truly think they're standing for. Here's the hell out of me personally. So all right.
Okay.
So you were on to the next one?
Yeah. So will the US be involved in those countries that change their borders? For me, I get not yet, not yet. How would it affect us if the US does get involved? Honestly, I'm getting, I can't go there yet. We can't go there yet, energy wise, to read it. So, but see what you have to say, Julie, about that.
So will the US be involved in those countries that change borders? We are, the energy that I'm getting is that we are moving towards this is what they show me, okay? A pivot point at the top of the, we'll call it the top of the peak or the top of the mountain. And everybody's climbing up the mountain. And it's like, well, who's going to get to the mountain, the top of the mountain first, the peak? And we can honestly say we don't know. That is very much in flux too. And it's a pivotal time. It depends on how bold Russia wants to be, Mr. Putin wants to be in his move towards Ukraine. I mean, I'm just going to be honest here and say, I heard that there were more, that he was adding more troops this morning. I went and had a blood draw, so I had the news on in the car, but that he's moving towards moving more troops in, constantly moving more troops in. And so this is according to the news, is at a point where if he wanted to go at this point and move into Ukraine, he could fully take it over. So we are at what we're here. What I'm hearing is we are at a pivotal point, and if it's who makes it to the peak at first, or do we land there together? China's not taking part in this one. This is a Russia, US, Eastern European mix. And they're saying to me, we're not sure how it would affect the US. There is, and so we're going to go to really the elephant in the room question, which is, will there be a World War III? I got goosebumps, which is not a good sign. And I'm hearing it is a possibility. It is a possibility. They're not giving me anything more definitive on that. We hope you will not go there and with that, but it is a possibility. How much so, we don't know.
Yeah.
What are you getting, Tammy?
Well, I think I might be in agreement with that. From what I'm receiving, let's see. I think it could be possible. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up too. And again, we have to look, at least for me, when I'm reading energy, it's what's likely to happen by what's currently being shown. That's how I always, kind of explain future predictions, because I don't generally do predictions, but sometimes they come in. So I call it the snapshot of what maybe we see at this moment. And what we find is usually things, it seems, that are a snapshot, whatever it may be that we're delivering, often pans out, because that's how energy works. If everything still goes in that direction, in other words, right, then you have a true prediction, so to speak. And then of course, there can be things that do change. And so therefore a prediction may not seem accurate. But right now, when I look at it for me and I pose that question to my guides, it does feel like there is one coming. That's what I'm seeing or getting. So we'll see what happens with that energy.
Yeah, we very much agree with you in how you see things. It is, so I will reiterate this. What I get in terms of prediction is I check in to the energy of the question and what is the greatest percentage or highest feeling energy of possibility in that moment. And as we know, anything can change moment to moment. And so that's really where it is in the moment. Nobody really truly wants that, we think. US doesn't, who knows? I mean, who is in power, we'll say who is in power right now does not want that in the US. We don't even really think Putin really wants that. That is the energy we're getting. It's so funny, sometimes the things that they show you. What they showed me was him doing this.
Yeah. That's funny. I get that visual often too. That's funny you would say that. Sometimes they'll give me that same visual.
So weird.
Yeah.
And so that's the energy of it. And he may just stop at that. And we'll see where that goes, you know. Yeah, we'll see where that goes. We know that nobody in your country, as the government is right now, wants to go in that direction. So we feel that there is a great effort in diplomacy, as they call it, diplomacy, working behind the scenes to avoid anything like that happening. Now, I want to segue from this just a little bit, and it's not really a segue, but I watched a movie not too long ago called Don't Look Up. Have you seen that movie, Tammy?
I know the title, but I don't think I've seen it.
It is with Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio and Meryl Streep, and it's on Netflix. And the premise is that she's a postgrad. She's working on her postgraduate thesis or work, and she finds a comet, Jennifer Lawrence. And she's all excited, and they start tracking the trajectory of the comet. And she's like, why are the numbers going down? And without giving anything away, well, I might give something away. Anyway, it's headed toward Earth. And so the movie itself really parodies what was happening with COVID. And they used a comet in place of COVID. I don't know if I'm supposed to use that. We're so small, nobody will care. Anyway, and so Meryl Streep being the female version of Donald Trump. And honestly, I found it hugely depressing. And so I'm just going to say at the end, I'm sorry if I'm giving it away, because
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I can't make my point without giving it away, which is ultimately the comet hits, and there goes much of what we see as human life, except for somebody at the end. It's tongue in cheek in some parts. So watch it anyway. And there have been moments in time where I've gotten, whether it's my own thought or drop down information of maybe it is time for a reset on Earth. And a world war might mean that reset, which would be really, really, really ugly and horrible.
Julie, I want to add something. Thank you for all that you said there. And when you were talking about how neither one really would want this necessarily to happen, right? I got this, sorry. I'm like hanging out so much. I got this, I don't know, feeling of the energy of it, like they were almost showing me like real nervous energy between the two opposing forces, whatever, right? And it's like, then they showed me, it's like two people that are about to fight, and they really don't kind of want to, but they're starting to sweat. It's that nervous energy, like it's almost like it's going to end up there, and they both know it. And that's what I was getting really strongly when you were speaking about that, is like, I agree. I don't think it's something anybody wants, but it's almost like a feeling like it's inevitable, maybe.
Yep.
Or that we're going to have to go into the ring together, and we're going to have to, even though we're trying to maybe play nice at times, that it may get ugly. It may have to get ugly.
Yeah.
You know, we don't necessarily think it has to, but I'm just saying that's kind of the energy read I had on that too. I just wanted to add that in because it's kind of interesting.
We think you're 100% right, Tammy. And it is, it's a question of, will somebody be able to pull back and not push a button?
Right.
Because as it stands, the way Russia is, it is a ground war, not a push the button nuclear end us all war. And if it can kind of stay that way, then maybe that's okay. Something will come out of it that allows us to see, what, you're getting into another war, US? Weren't you just in a war for 20 years? And what came out of that? A lot of loss of life. And so we'll see. But I have to tell you, I've been feeling this for a long time, that some kind of reset. And I want to clarify what that means. Some kind of reset is coming. And it's like we go to the edge of destruction, maybe not complete destruction. I hope it's not, but it may happen. That's what I'm getting. We may go to the edge of destruction and then say, what is going on? We need to pull back and have a real reset here. And so we'll see. I mean, I'm not, they're saying we're not predicting this, but I'm telling you that that's the energy I've been getting for a very, very long while. It's not just in the last month or few weeks. It's been close to pandemic, even pre-pandemic. So my personal hope is that doesn't happen, but it's happened before on the planet. There have been resets, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Whew, okay, that was heavy. Can we come up with something not heavy?
Yeah. And
Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day, what?
Oh, I just said, yeah, and thank you for those questions, because people do wonder this stuff, right? So thank you for sending those in. Yeah, I've just got this up here because Valentine's Day is coming, and our next two psychic moms will officially be after Valentine's Day. So I thought I'd just pop up all this good stuff. And if we open up a little bit just to a message about all of that good stuff.
Always about love.
Yeah, exactly. And they said about Valentine's Day, they said, please be prepared to love yourself. Be prepared to love yourself. We realize that they're saying this holiday, we'll just call it that, is often around romantic partnership. So let's make this first and foremost the partnership with yourself, in the love that you provide for yourself, the love that is innately, I love that, is innately within yourself, that you need to recognize first and again foremost. So nothing wrong with celebrating with your romantic partner. There are the Valentine's days too, like Julie had mentioned something earlier to me about that. Absolutely. It's, loving your friendships and being close to those people and letting those people know how much you love them. So please do not get caught up in, oh, it's Valentine's Day and I don't have a romantic partner. They said, well, we understand the sadness. Let this be your reminder, if anything else, of the love that already resides within you, that you need to maybe or want to just tap into a little bit more, doing something very fabulous and wonderful and pampering for yourself on that day also is a really great way to celebrate that. And maybe for those of you who are looking for romantic relationships, spend a little bit of time on that day, writing down the things and the aspects and the personality traits and the, what you would like in your romantic partner, your future romantic partner, that will help to ground that energy to start bringing in that like vibration for yourself. For those of you who want that. They just showed me hugging your pets as well. So that love goes everywhere, right? It's meant to be a day of love celebration. And really that's how we should be promoting it, in my opinion, instead of just so much of the, romantic partnership, which is lovely too. But we're just saying, really, it is about the love and what can I do to foster that within myself and let others people know how much I do love them. So
Yes, beautiful.
stay.
I have to show you. Let's see if I can. I don't know why I have such a hard time doing this, but if I this is my. Let's see if I can share this. Okay, bear with
I'd
me.
be sitting here for the whole time if I tried to do that.
Well, I'm not sure that
You're better at it than I am.
we'll see. That's not really. I don't know what you're seeing, but I want you to see.
Oh, I love that.
Wait, because I have to show you my. This is what it looks like. I probably should have opened this first before I shared the screen. That wasn't very bright. Let me come off of that and open this, and then I'll share the screen. Anyway, carry on with that message while I go find what I'm looking for, because
Well, I think, that's fine. So you get the point of that, right? Love encompasses a lot of different ways. And I think Valentine's Day is a good reminder of that, to really just focus on love affirmations also for ourselves, reminding ourselves how much we're deserving of it. And then, calling a friend if you're not in this romantic relationship kind of thing with a partner, just honoring it. But by all means, please do not go into the energy for those who are single, looking for love, of sadness around this time. Refuse to be sad, because really let it be the reminder of love and love first. Let's remember, unfortunately, that not all partners are as in love as they may act as if they are on Valentine's Day. I mean, truly, we're not trying to put a downer on that, but everybody's got their challenges within, of course, a romantic relationship as well. So I love Valentine's Day. I think it's really cool. I like to do little fun things, maybe heart-shaped cake. Make it for yourself then if you're single, if that appeals to you. Or take yourself out, or just do something really, really good for yourself and loving for yourself on that day. Always, of course, but Valentine's Day, just like any holiday, is a great day to remind us of certain things like that. So.
I am getting nowhere fast. That's what I can tell.
Well, I love the pictures. Who were those two? Which ones were those?
That was Misty and Tigger.
Oh.
And they are both, in the on the other side of the rainbow bridge.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I wanted to show you a picture of, but somehow my computer is not cooperating, as seems to happen often. So I took a picture the other night. I'll just tell you, I was getting into bed, and so the way my bed is situated, I have a queen size bed, and I have my side, and then I have the cat side, right? And there's a pillow next to me, and then 4 cat beds, and usually a couple of cats are in the cat beds, and then there's one cat that sleeps up on the pillow next to my head, not my head, but over to the other side. Then I have a cat up here and a cat over here and a cat. Anyway, I got out of bed for a minute and I came back and literally I'm like, all the cats were like all over the bed. And I'm like, hey, I like have a place in this bed.
Yeah. You made the mistake of leaving. Yeah.
Exactly. And so it's like, yes, love and squeeze and hug your cats, which I do quite regularly. But that was that's a picture of my Valentine.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Telling you. So
Those animals love us too. So
yes, they do.
yeah, you include them for sure.
So,
All right.
so good. This was a great way to end that. And
Yeah.
we absolutely love your messages, Tammy. And
Oh, thank you. And back at you, Julie. Same. Thank you for all that you
it's the
shared
same.
today.
Love conquers. It really does conquer all. If we could just love each other and respect each other and
Right.
get out of
Less in the ego and more in the heart, right? Of that loving, and just, that's, I think, another good reminder for all of us is just pay attention to when you really are in that ego. And sometimes it's necessary to be an ego, but you know what I mean. There's times where you're like, wow, did that come from a place of ego, or did it come from a better place?
we're
So
all human, so we're all guilty of it. It's
right.
not. It's not. It just is. It's a human condition, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
So just pay attention, that's all.
Some have it more than others, and some of us are less than others, and
Yeah.
just depends on your journey. But yeah, focus. Even if we just all focused on love for one day, wouldn't that be
I know.
into the
World Day of Love Focus or something, right? I mean, I know there's the world peace and all that falls into the love category, but yeah, if we just like really focused on the energy of just beaming that beautiful divine light through our crown chakra, letting it pool here in our heart chakra, and then sending it out wide and far to the universe, to our planet. And, that really would be really, really special, wouldn't it? And I know there's people that work on that individually as well, but meanwhile, we'll just say, have a fabulous Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, whatever you decide to do. And remember to just bring that love on yourself and enjoy the day.
Well, thank you, and thanks for tuning in as always to Psychic Moms. We probably wouldn't do it without you. What would be the point? So even just keep growing with us and sharing, and we really, really, really appreciate you, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay, bye for now.